Yo, people, welcome back to The Fix. It's your boy Naro here with Ari and Jazz, and we're here with another edition of Quik Fix. Jazz, take it away. Quik Fix, boss.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
You're boss too.
Hey guys, it's time for Quik Fix, and as you guys are supposed to know by now, Quik Fix is a roundup of the news that we've missed in the week. So let's get started. Dancehall artist Jada Kingdom recently shared on her Instagram live that she was being robbed and taken for granted by her manager. She stated that he had been robbing her for years and she chose to expose him because of how hurt she's been feeling about the situation. Jada also expressed that she's been working extremely hard over the years and feels as if she's not excelling. She claimed her money issues worsened last year when she said she was evicted, which partly explains why she's been staying with her Atlanta-based producer boyfriend Verse Simmons since the onset of COVID-19. Despite feeling let down, Kingdom says she's excited about getting it right with a new team, though she still isn't sure when she'll be able to release new music. So, what do we make of this? Naro.
It's very surprising to hear these revelations made by Jada. It's alarming to hear that she not really make money. And that's the thing, when she says that she's not really making money like that, like what type of money is she supposed to be making? What type of money does she expects to be making? All them type of thing are your question. But yeah, this doesn't look good. Jada, one of our brightest stars with a whole heap of potential. I don't even think she has fully fulfilled her potential yet.
Yeah.
And to hear them thing like disheartening, say she should have think forgive up music and all them thing there, and she get evicted. Like Jada is top 3 female artists in a dancer right now, without question. And to hear these revelations, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's very surprising.
When I saw the video, it's like what come to me. It's just like, wow, like, you can understand why, like, she probably wouldn't like men.
She got some trust issues with men.
Yeah, because it's whether it's violating her body or violating her trust with her money and her business. You know, it seems like men always want to try and do her dirty. And I remember when she moved in with Verse, I was just like, wait, that's Quik, you know, and I have like his name tatted, but I guess he came in as a rescuer. But that, I guess, so that's a whole nother psychological love situation that we can get into, but we don't really need to get into.
Right. No,
but you know, it's unfortunate her situation that she's going through. I can imagine when the business isn't right, it can affect the creativity because you have to eat, and this is your main source of income. And when you know you're focused on trying to survive, it takes away all creativity. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah.
But according to Jada,
to the story.
right? So you know, I just hope that she can get into a good frame of mind to continue to create. Because I agree with you that she's one of our leading ladies in dancehall now, and I can imagine how devastating this can be, especially to when you really want to create.
But yeah, on the back of the whole cargo conversation,
Yeah.
this is intriguing.
Yeah.
I want to see how this plays out for
Yeah.
him. I just want to hear more music, and I hope that she's in a better place.
Album.
We want the album. That's what
Yeah.
we've been calling for how much months now, and to hear
Yeah.
this now, she might just stall it. Yeah, it's sad, but I hope she's on top of everything else in a better place mentally
Yes.
than she was during this whole relationship.
All right, then let's move on. Prime Minister Andrew Holness promises to give money to entertainers and other players in the industry amid the continued lockdown of the sector. Mr. Holness made this revelation as he again announced that parties and events would remain under lockdown as part of the country's COVID-19 measures. He stated, "We understand the hurt and suffering." No, I'm not going to do the Andrew voice today.
Yeah, just do it.
Many have lost significant resources, so we are going to have to make an allocation. I do plan to call in the leaders of the industry. We want to have an engagement because we see our music and our culture as a part of our economic recovery. Ari, what are your thoughts?
I was like, which leaders? What you look for me so far? I was like, which leaders? Who are you gonna call? Because everyone's pretty much scattered, and they're like, and who? Like, is it entertainers? Is it party promoters? Is restaurateurs? Because restaurateurs kind of retrofit as a club. So I'm just like, who are gonna benefit from this? And then further in the interview, not the interview, the article, or his speech, he made reference to New Zealand. So New Zealand is, I don't know if you guys know, is one of the few countries, probably the only country that had COVID right from last year. So last year, as soon as they had their first case, it was an immediate shutdown and a nationwide mandate. 5 million people live in COVID, and 5 million people friggin' follow the rules.
Live in New Zealand.
Sorry. And friggin' follow the rules.
I'm sure you had some dissenters.
So, well, no, they had, since they've done that, they had no cases.
Their economy is they're back on their feet.
From last year.
Yeah.
From last year. People
they've been
were
having
touring
events with
in their country last
full capacity
year.
venues, and
Last
New
year,
Zealand
because people
going
follow the rules. So one of the things he said that he's going to look in terms of pandemic relief is the New Zealand what New Zealand did. So what they did, let me say it.
Yes, government defender.
Ruman Bonner, the director of, I'm reading Washington Post, and said Ruman Bonner, the director of booking and management company Banished Music, is an organizer with the Save Our Venues, a fundraising effort created early in New Zealand's pandemic. The idea, he explained, was to help venues with things like rent and payroll, but Save Our Venues was ultimately needed only as a stopgap. In July, the government opened the New Zealand Music Venue Infrastructure Fund, through which venues were eligible for up to 50,000 New Zealand dollars of relief. Sabana says that workers at the venues felt utterly vulnerable at first, but it went from grim to maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel. So I guess that is what he's making reference to in trying to create up a fund in which entertainers, and I'm assuming it's entertainers, but promoters would benefit from a grant or a relief. So I mean, if it's something like that he's planning on doing, I think it's a good initiative. It's just like, who will get it and who would benefit from it, and would our artists them, because the way them are, every time I wanna I wanna come around, you don't wanna post up, you know that meme there? So everybody I chat off them up, but like, are they gonna take the money? That's what I'm saying, because everybody's so anti-government and anti-Andrew not like and blah blah blah, but here he's trying to create a fund to save it.
The question if the dancer, at least the entertainment players, would take this money.
Exactly.
Of course, them fucking take.
And and then again, who will benefit from it? Because what are uprising artists, do them have one song, or would they benefit from it? A party promoter who have a round robin, them would have benefit, like them throw one last 2019, so would they automatically benefit from it? So it's just there's so many irregularities in our system. I just find I'm just thinking how it will work.
You hit the nail right on the head, Ari, and I think this is Andrew Holness. Andrew Holnessing, as he tends to do from time to time. I think this was a carefully crafted message on the back of the he hates dancehall narrative. I think this is a ploy.
Funny, not to stop you, because he did it, I
was on a roll here, but
but he did it, but he was saying, him keep on say that message, said dancehall need for change, and then this week him do that. But the same, I think it's this week again too, he's like, dancehall artists need for like. I'm going to get to that. I think this is a ploy to buy time. I think that he's telling them these things in order for them to stop talking and to stop with this narrative that he hates dancehall, and he only uses it to his benefit and to his advantage whenever he wants. I think that if I'm wrong and if them actually get the money, I'll admit that. This is what I think. This is what Naro thinks. I'm thinking that he's hoping that things will be sorted out through the lockdown and through the several measures that them have in place right now, that it doesn't have to give them money. I think he's just saying this to buy time, because not only that, but you raise some pertinent questions. Who are these leaders?
And it's
Who
so
are they?
broad, like
Andrew
you said,
Holness is counting on the disorganization of the dancehall and the entertainment people. Because
Who are the
him will
leaders?
put it back in there. You see, we said we're going to do this. What Uno doing? Where's the organization? We said Uno this.
Yeah.
We said this. We're not seeing an action from Uno. This is his play. This is what I think. But I really think I'm right at this. I think this is the play where we'll say these things openly. So you can have it on record and say I said it, and then I put it on a phone, and because you know say I always tend to fuck up these things because there's no unity within the thing.
I guess that's the ultimate
Makes sense
thing
to me.
But if him do it and if him can achieve it, then
Cool. Kudos to him.
Come me with a benefit. We are culture.
Yeah, we are. But then the other sectors, aren't they going to rise up and say, what go on for you?
And then that's it too.
What go on for like
Exactly.
sports is dying right now.
Yeah.
Locally.
And it's a form of entertainment, I
It
guess.
is.
And culture. So I don't know.
It's
It's very vast.
yeah.
I'm not expecting enough money. Because if you're not going to get like me, I
That's
said
the
20
next
grand.
thing. And then the maga
Wait,
say
Ari,
it not
you
enough.
actually expect money?
So why I can't hope for money?
Alright.
But that's about the entertainer them still.
I don't know actually which song you
Like
sing.
how much you can really afford to give each entertainer
And
or
enough
the
away.
leaders.
Enough away.
Yeah.
Enough people
And
who
then-
throw party.
and then-
Enough people who have restaurant and jerk chicken.
Yeah.
Them benefit like them. I can say them have a claim to it too. Enough things.
Not
are going
only
for
that,
me.
Ari,
Like
because he
phenomenal.
make a speech where I guess we're going to get into that about, you know, the division, the class division and how the media is doing these things. You know, things like this probably might lead into that. A little people say entertainment. You know, think people say entertain. Why them I get money and we
But
not
then
get
again,
the money?
if I'm basing it off. I'm truly basing it off the New Zealand one because he made reference to the New Zealand plan, and the New Zealand plan was about party promoters and club venues. So it's the New Zealand Music Venue Infrastructure Fund. So it's to help people with rent and payroll. So if it's a place where them have to, so like Center Stage is an entertainment venue. They host play, whatever.
Ain't nobody going there.
What? Well, I got to play every year. I
When
got to play
last?
every year.
That
Did it go last
that
year?
shit dead right now.
But it did exactly right now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't dying before the pandemic. It was regularly packed. People go constantly. So, you know, it's just like they would probably benefit from it because it's a structured, regularized thing. Them have to pay Center Stage. Them have to pay the crew and the actors who work there. So I'm thinking something like that. Pantomime. You know? So little theater. So
Correction. When I say unity, I hate that word. I mean, you know, because
a coalition.
they're not organized.
I know.
Because people,
association. Things
people
like
within
that.
the dancehall space love to use this unity word like it's a magical word that will, you know, just solve things. Just
I get what you
by
mean.
saying it
It's
out
like
loud.
an association or a
Yeah.
coalition. Yeah.
You don't get what I mean.
Yeah.
I just hate using that word myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We need unity. Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So, Crime Stop officially launched a social media campaign called Stand Up For Our Country, which features recording artists Bounty Killer, Agent Sasko, Savannah, plus veteran media personality and actress Taylor Harris and social media personalities Tanania Tracy, Brush One Chromatic, and Prince Pine. The campaign is aimed at eradicating the inform of a dead culture, creating awareness amongst the younger audience, as well as regaining the trust of Jamaicans in its fight against crime. All right, so Naro, what are your thoughts?
I think this is a nice initiative.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is something that is much needed when we speak about a culture shift happening within our society.
Yeah.
Our entertainers, whether they want to accept this responsibility or not, they are some of the cultural leaders within our society. They are some of the thought leaders within our society. And if they can not only get them on board to do these campaigns, because we've seen several campaigns like this over the years and then they really gone nowhere, really have no impact like that. And then, you know, the artists them will say, yo, we do this and it never, you know, and them think that if we can have a carefully structured campaign with this that is effective in its marketing, effective in its messaging, I think this can be a good thing in the culture shift, the much needed culture shift that I think our society needs.
Definitely.
I agree with you. I think that it's a good thing that they've enlisted people like Bounty, who is a well-respected figure not only in dancehall but in the country.
Yeah.
So he has some sort of validity and credibility that him can bring to it. Not saying that he's in the underworld dealings, but there's a respect there from him, even from that faction of society.
Most definitely.
So him can just say, listen, let's all work together. I think and you said specifically about the informal culture, which is I think is a major thing that we need to change within our society, and that comes from dancehall. So kudos to them for using these entertainers, most notably Bounty Killer, because he's somebody that cares about politics and cares about like the country on a whole. And it's not just, and we take him, most people take him simply, but he's a very thought-provoking person, and he's very wise to what's happening. So it's for him to lend his voice to this campaign is very good. Personally, I think they need to use more dancehall people.
They do.
Like reggae, like them have a sort of cookie cutter clean
brand and image.
and away from these things. So more dancehall figures, leaders, artists need to be involved in this.
Yeah. Definitely.
Agree.
All right, up next. Prime Minister Andrew Holness recently addressed the issue of misinformation across media platforms in Jamaica. He stated, "For too long, we have allowed our country to be misled by persons who claim to hold the mantle of reasonableness, and what has happened is that they have misled, in particular, the vulnerable groups." He continued, "We have a duty as government and opposition to speak the truth, to defend reason, and to stand in defense of those people who may not have access to information or may not be able to contextualize the information. As has been the case lately, people were furious about seeing this address, with some saying the message came off as hypocritical." So, what do you guys think? Of course, I have to start with Ari again.
Boy. I mean, we've been saying this, and I think again it's just a culture shift that is trying to happen, and how you shift culture is through repetition. So I feel like every government sitting that I think he's going to have from now on, it looks like is going to be a constant calling out. So it's unless we is always going to be a thing where we're gonna constantly bash it, or we're just gonna accept it eventually and just work towards changing it. He was making reference to people trying to frame it as last week, his comment of making it seem as if he was a classist, elitist, separatist leader and out of it's this week, out of touch. He, as I mentioned, it almost felt like it was a smear campaign, because the video that he posted on his Instagram, he used Mark Golding's voice in the initial, in the first cut. Yeah, you saw that, right?
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah, so it's almost as if to say that is political games that are being played, when right now it don't mean you really need the time to be played. So whether you agree with it or not, him kind of make it clear, say is a stupid political game that's being played, at least from my understanding of it, when he used Mark Golding in the front of his speech. So I feel like we've litigated this in the podcast this week. People really need to stop be misleading, and they're deliberately being I've been using the term beguiling from the other day, because it's almost like them try to pretend like they're trying to be on your side, but deep down it's almost like them a try kill you, in a strange, indirect way. And I'm not saying that they're murderers, or I'm trying to call them murderers, but kind of telling people not to wear masks, and I make it seem as if see my trying to make these people spread it. Is like, that's not what need to be done, or that's not the time, where it's not the time now to be playing political games. So I just think that him calling it out for what it is. He's angry, and whether they agree with him or not, that's what he sees.
You could definitely tell about him being angry. This was a strong condemnation. You could just see the anger seeping through him. This was angry. This was
frustrated,
annoyed. All them things they rolled up into one. I will just address a couple of points about politicizing and playing politicizing, at least the times that we're in now, and playing political games. It could be said that they did that too during the elections, debates and them thing, they're turning like them thing into political fodder and talking points to gain favor with the people. It could be said that they did those things too.
No, could be said. That's politics.
It is politics.
But I'm just saying in that right now in this moment, it don't really need.
But we're still in the moment.
But
we're still in the moment.
I guess it's always politics.
I will say that in regards to what he said about the media, he is correct when you see certain things happening on like IG and Twitter, and you see certain influencers, at least you see certain pages, posts. I'm sure he was addressing a couple of these pages that ran with this clip.
And artists too.
And artists that, spreading misinformation and all these things. While that is fair, and as we said during the podcast, that still doesn't change the tone and the energy about what you said about the corner shop them. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. It's almost like when a white person would say about black people, when the blacks they eat they buy the fried chicken and the watermelons, and the black shit. That's how it come off. That's how those particular wordings in regards to what I'm saying about what they buy, that's how it come off. So yes, he is right about the media and certain misinformation, and some of them should be condemned. But still, it could be seen as deflecting, because as we say, the energy is still there. You're disconnected from the people, them plight and what they're really going through.
What are we really angry about? Is it that him pretend like him don't know what poor people buy, or the fact that he's trying to blame poor people for it? Because that was what was coming off. And when he put the clip in context, if he wasn't trying to blame a particular sect.
No,
but what you're saying is as if, and again, that is why keep on re-litigating it, is as if they're saying that he's separatist and an elitist, because he must say, well, when you buy half loaf of bread and big ginger oil and all them something, and it's just like, okay, because what am I gonna say when you buy a steak and curry mutton? Again, when I say, but when I eat that, and when I mock you and I patronize you, say, you're damn if you do and damn if you
is that about the wording, as Javidi pointed out there? Is the wording just don't talk about it? Well, know about it.
And I agree with that too. It's just that the point that I think he was making here is just like trying to make it seem as if he's trying to blame one set of people,
which he wasn't,
for it. And I think that is the thing that he's calling out too.
But the energy feeds into that narrative.
Well,
that is why I have to watch what you say and how you say it as the prime minister and leader of the country.
I agree there, but may I say what people really are content about.
People just, and some certain people just want to be angry at him. Them don't even know what.
I think that's my point too. Damn if you do. Damn if you do.
Yeah? So they must say,
you must forget blame for something. It's like
I'm
giving you free money. When I give you that little money there, I'm not giving no money. You see them not care about people.
There's always
you only care about these people. You only care about that people. You only care about this time. You only no matter what the government do.
I can't speak to the man's heart. I can only speak on things from a tactical standpoint in regards to how him carry out things and how people perceive them. You know what I mean? And when I saw that, that's how I perceive it. Say, the wording and the messaging and the packaging of what I did, I say, it just come off wrong.
All right. Fair.
That's just it. All right, so that's it for Quik Fix, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment down below. Share your thoughts with us.
Okay, question. You think him did that call like Bujuto?
Yeah. The man is angry. He's angry.
Me really did just need him to put on him
Ari. Put on a thinking.
I just really want him to do that. Like, that's not saying how nobody can do a Luther translation.
If he did ever use back that word, it would have been gold. I think you people need to put on your thinking caps. Jeez, that would have been fun.
Now, cause still Shiloh come. It's not an easy road, this pandemic.
This is not an easy road. Jamie, do it now. Do it, Tazzy. Let's do it. Do it.
No.
Anyways.
Good. That's it.